Hi everyone, it's Julian from Digital Trends, and this is the Google Pixel 2 XL. Apologies if it's a little loud, it's a little crowded here, but let's just take a quick look at this device. It's the latest device, second generation Pixel. It's got that edge-to-edge bezel-less design. This is the back of the phone. This is slightly different from last year's version. You got more glass here, a single camera, fingerprint sensor, and trademark Google logo over there. So again, we have that bezel-less design. Of course, there are some bezels, but the good addition here is that you no longer have bottom-firing speakers. You have stereo front-facing speakers. That's a great addition, so that means you just get much better sound than ever before. Of course, you can see the display, the screen itself is a little different. There's like this little live water that you can see moving, and take a look there, and there's not enough screens, but this is also the new design for the Google Now feed, or the Google feed as it's called. It's pretty slick, and again, with performance that you can see here, this is running the Snapdragon 835 with 4 gigs of RAM. It's ridiculously fast in our initial tests. But other than that, it's a 1440p screen, 4 gigs of RAM, again, Snapdragon 835 processor. Let me just get a quick look over here to see the Android Oreo design. And the battery size is 3520 milliamp hour. So it should last you a decent amount of time, at least a full day, I'm sure. But one of the cooler functions is that now you can see HTC's Edge Sense function basically built into this device. Google calls it like the squeeze function. There you go. So basically right now it's hot wired, so that when I squeeze the phone, I can turn on Google Assistant. Let's try that again. What's the weather? And I think it's way too loud to actually work here, but the idea is that you can press and hold, and you can change the settings over here when you go to settings, languages, time, input. There we go. Active Edge is what the feature is called. You can change the squeeze sensitivity, squeeze for assistant. It looks like this is meant purely for assistant, so you can't actually customize or change it for something else. But that's the Active Edge function. And one of the other new features is in the camera, which just got a DxO Mark score of 98, which is the highest ever for a smartphone camera. So it's a 12 megapixel rear shooter and 8 megapixel front facing. But one of the cool features is, for example, let's take a shot over here of some people, if we can get that in the shot. So you can see how fast it's taking those shots. And so one of the cool things is this new thing called motion. It basically is similar to live photos. You can see motion off here on the top, motion on, and it basically is catching 3 seconds, I believe, of video when you take that shutter shot. So you're basically getting this motion almost exactly the same as Apple's live photos on iPhone. This is with the motion off. One of the other cool features is portrait mode, which works on objects, and this is all working with a single lens camera, so you don't need 2 cameras. It's all software. So we just took a shot, it's processing over here. You can see it added that software blur behind the shot, and it seems pretty accurate. Of course, there are some mistakes over here. This is probably one of the harder shots to do, especially since it's such a different object compared to most portrait mode images. You want a person, ideally. But one of the cool things is that it actually works with the front-facing camera, and this is us. Hello. So let's try and do this portrait mode shot. Right now, I think the setting is on already. So let me. Let's see. It's processing. Added a blur. Looks pretty nice, actually. Again, you can see my hair a little bit is clipped off or blurred out. It does look a little strange sometimes, but this is actually really impressive from this just quick demo that I just tried. And that's something I probably would, or anyone who takes selfies a lot would probably use a lot. So that's the camera. It's a pretty high-rated camera, really fast. This new design puts the search bar at the bottom. This is the Google Pixel 2. 2, we just saw the Pixel XL. This is the smaller one. They basically have the same specs. Of course, the display size on this one is 5 inches. The other one is 6 inches. The other one has a 1440p resolution, but this has a 1080p resolution. As you can see, the design again is more similar to last year's with the chunky bezels, but you get stereo front-facing speakers. On the back, kind of similar to last year's, except this fingerprint sensor is now below the glass. Got an aluminum back, glass over here, 12 megapixel rear camera, and 8 megapixel front-facing camera. So the features are all the same. You get that squeeze to unlock or activate assistant. You have the same portrait mode functions, as you can see here. Portrait right there. And of course, when you take a photo, it's taking 3 seconds of footage. Looks like it didn't actually. So let's see, maybe it didn't detect footage or movement. Nope. Well, it's supposed to take. Let's see if that works. Oh, there we go. Motion off over here. So you can see now the video is moving. It's the 3 seconds that was captured, very similar to live photos. A couple of the other differences with the Pixel 2 over the Pixel 2 XL is that the battery is 2700 milliamp hours, kind of similar to last year's. It's 4 gigs of RAM, 64 and 128 gigs of storage, Snapdragon 835. Those are all the same functions as the Pixel 2 XL. Again, the battery size is 2700, so a little smaller than the 3520 on the Pixel 2 XL. So one of the other features that I forgot to mention with the Pixel 2 XL and the Pixel 2 is that there is no headphone jack, so you have to use a USB-C connector, which is obviously going to aggravate a lot of people. But other than that, it's Daydream ready, so it works with the Daydream VR headset, and that's the Pixel 2.